Good morning, my friends. Well, I guess it could be any time for you guys, but it is my morning, and I want to welcome you guys and wish you a very good morning, whether it is or is not. Whether you're watching this in the middle of the night, late afternoon, I don't care. I hope your next morning is good. I hope the one you just had is good. And if, like me, you're starting off your day with a little hardcore Minecraft, well, what better way is there? So we are off, and I gotta say, for the first time in a really long time, I have absolutely no idea what we're gonna do in Minecraft today. I thought about it a lot after we wrapped up yesterday, and it's not like the silos. Man, we gotta let this world load up here. Um, yeah, it kind of gave it some real thinking over, and just a lot of times you kind of you wrap up a project, and we talked about it a lot in the previous episodes. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this, and I usually have a real draw, like, okay, well, this is what I want to do next, and I'm so torn. There's so many things to do now that we've completed our silos, and I don't have that. Oh, this is what I'm doing. Here we go, kind of feel, and that's not a bad thing. That's the beauty of Minecraft. Sometimes it doesn't just trying to get a feel for these while we talk here. Let's see how many we left laying around. Not too bad, really. Okay, well, that's good. Um, yeah, I mean, it's Minecraft, right? That's the beauty of this game, is you can just kind of see which way you want to go. So I thought, because it's early in the morning, that maybe we just kind of have a little bit of a chill start episode. I think the last little load I did, I put in the other side and try to keep it kind of balanced. This we should definitely not leave in here anymore. We're done with that project. So yeah, in case you guys missed it, these are our awesome silos. They are now all complete, and someday we're gonna have a big barn right here, but not right now. I don't know what we're gonna do. I know it's not build a barn right after we finish the silos, but it's gonna come. It's gonna be big old traditional barn. Like the big old doors and everything will open up on this side. It'll run that way up towards the silos. It's gonna be beautiful. I can tell you that right now. Um, but we've done that building project, and it was kind of a sidetrack. And I think I think maybe let's see here. So we need a book and a feather. Let's make. Oh, I don't know, a paper. No, that. Now, why I felt the need to make this whole book as opposed to just going upstairs. Are you kidding me? I don't have a stupid feather on me. Okay, this is silly throwaway idea, and something I've never done. But then again, usually, you know, over the years, I really don't. haven't had an audience to play with, so I just kind of keep these ideas in my own head. But we've had so many things that we've talked about here recently that it seems as though maybe we'd be well served to get kind of a list going up, so you guys can kind of see what all we're thinking about doing, what all's on the literal to-do list we're about to make, and how we want to approach those things as we go forward. Because I mean, the list is endless, right? There's so much stuff, but we talked about a long time ago now that we had a number of priorities we kind of needed to get to, and since that time we've done awesome at setting up bees and building silos and working on a bastion remnant. Haven't done any of the things that we talked about. So how do we do this? Do we need a lectern or something? Honestly, I haven't used these before. Oh, well, that's easy. You just aim at the ground and right click on it. Okay, projects. We need a raid for goodness. We need a beacon. We need a we need a come on. Oh, there. And these are kind of the next tier or immediate, semi-immediate things. I thought I was forgetting another something or other. Because every time we kick these around, we forget stuff. We really want that. We really want that. Oh, we want the beacon for the bastion, for among other things. Wasn't there other stuff that we'd kind of talked through? I'll put it now. Then we want to and these are a variety. So we want the barn. That's big. Um, that's smaller. And there's a lot of stuff. I was actually chatting. Somebody had posted a video, and I left a comment in response. And it's one of the great viewers around here. He's been around for a long time, and definitely keeps up. He's way beyond because he's busy making his own content, but actually watches all the videos and is several worlds back. So all of this stuff is new, but was way back in Slow Cooker world, and we were chatting back and forth about turtle enclosures, and he just posted a video on one, which makes me remember, man, I have yet to do a turtle enclosure on any of the YouTube worlds, so that would be one. And in fact, if you go back, we'll bring this back up whenever we get around to it, but if you go back to the very first world as we're looking for a base site, I talk about like, oh, this could be Turtle Bay. It's just a little inlet back kind of in the area of the swamp that had some turtles on kind of in the hills and a nice bay. And I said that could be a Turtle Bay. Anyway, rambling. Yeah, let's save it for now. Now, I think if I just done, it will come back up, but it won't be. Yeah, okay, good. If you sign it, I think you're done. So we'll carry that around for a bit, and if I think of other stuff, and again, there's lots of other stuff going on in my head too that I'm not forgetting about, but I kind of always feel like I've got this little prioritized list, and then the next thing I know, it's oh yeah, like that. It slipped my mind, right? And then now don't forget the toolbox or get sidetracked on something else. We're gonna do the farm and get some more emeralds while we're at it. And not that I'm particularly leaning towards the librarian or anything. In fact, one of the reasons I'm doing it is I want more seeds for the silo to be able to go back in there and run some more bone meal. But we really need emeralds. As you can see, we don't have many here. I think we've done kind of like a partial load back at the base, at the trader outpost, and can use some more of those. So we'll keep pressing on in that direction. But man, I kind of, while we're talking and thinking here, I want to soak up the view. So let's leave our little booky thing in here. Let's put the, I may want the bed. That's fine. And I'm about to break first rule. It's been a long time since we've done farms, but we want to do these first so that they can regrow while we harvest everything else. So yeah, we can take in the sight of our wonderful silos as we work in our fields here. The other thing we should do is breed our bees very quickly. Okay, so we had our big list there, and we were kind of talking it through. I think that as a matter of course, the two most helpful and kind of best next priorities wise are getting totems. Clearly, we talked about that the other day, and getting a trident. And the question on the, well, I think we got to do a raid pretty quick, and I think the way I'm approaching that now is let's just go far away. Again, maybe we go out to that accidental post the spawn and go in a different direction flying, but we go look for a similar village near a pillager outpost. We could do the same kind of setup that we did the last time that got inadvertently very exciting. But oh, look at that. Let's do let's try to do one more. I think what I'm gonna try to do for the first one is just load up on allies as opposed to the last one. I think the last one we had like one golem, maybe a couple, walking around up on our little mesa thing. I don't want to that got real bad. We almost lost the world in that one, just trying to do a raid. And the reason was we inadvertently gave the oh man, what are they called? This they're not the evokers. A huge opportunity to just flood us with vexes. And the deal was we'd made like a 3 high mesa for our little village spot. At least we had lots of extra spots there. So we could actually fit all those. Oh, well, I guess I should have looked. I was halfway empty on food. Um, yeah, so that one got artificially bad because there were so many evokers running around and or so many vexes flying around, and we couldn't get close to the evokers because anytime we get close, they do their little spiky thing, and we couldn't get a shot at them because they were down below the edge of the deal. It was a huge disaster. Um, that doesn't have to be how raids are, but I gotta admit, I'm a little scarred coming out of that. So we may have a little bit of extra help around just until we get our totem and feel better about it. I don't know. I don't want to throw things away. I also don't want to make it too easy. We want to do a lot of the killing, but um, it's something to do. So we may try to get to a faraway desert village. I like the deserts. They're good in that you can kind of see around where everything is. Like I would never recommend doing it in a taiga village because there's so many trees right in and around and everything. Darkwoods spawners are kind of the same way. Or Darkwood spawners, Darkwood forests are kind of the same way. They can have big trees right in the mouths, and you can kind of get snuck up on and hemmed in. You can't get as many shots at them before things really get going. And of course, they have the axe wielding pillager guys that are similar to the piglin brutes. They have axes, so they hit really hard with them because we all know axes are very powerful weapons. They hit slower, but they're pretty devastating. We got a great bow. We've got awesome sword, good armor, and if we need it, we have the God Apple. So I think we could get through pretty well, but I'd still throw a couple golems up to supplement the forces around the village and use that to our advantage. So as you can probably tell, I'm kind of talking that up, and of anything, I think that's best. It would be kind of nice going in with a fully juiced trident as well. But the trident does have a couple drawbacks when it comes to raids. It once you've thrown it, you're kind of waiting for it to come back. Now the trade-off is it's one of the best weapons in the game. So personally, I'll trade that off a lot of times to be able to get my shots, keep mobile throughout the village, and it's certainly worked for me in the past. My only real drawback there is it takes so much time to get set up to the point where we can really have that drowned farm going. And as much as I would love to be toting the trident all the time, but we haven't had one in any of these worlds. I've never gotten a totem drop with you guys hanging out, and I want to do that. I love the trident. It's an awesome weapon. Um, and that then opens up the uh, the guardian temples, the underwater temples, which we have not yet cleared because we again didn't have a trident in slow cooker. So lots and lots of stuff to look at getting set up there. It's all just a matter of time. But I think even in building and setting up a drowned farm, um, we'll do better having totem to keep us safe as we're doing that, and can be a little more aggressive in some of our other activities as we're running around and doing that. And you guys, frankly, you're probably like, you haven't done anything crazy risky in a long time, and it's a little bit true. I mean, we did go hang out in the bastion, and some of it is it gets less risky the more you go. Just regular combat, going through caves and all that kind of stuff. That has a minimal risk. There's some danger, there always is. It's hardcore, you can lose your world, but just run through caves around here right now, not a huge threat. Even in the nether, the day-to-day kind of activities in there, unless we're going into the heart of a bastion or something like that, or unexpectedly get trapped by a bunch of slimes that are just hitting us again and again and again and again and again, and we, for whatever reason, can't move because we fell or something like that. Um, Other than that, there's not as much day-to-day threat in our world, but um, some of those really high-risk activities, you can pop a totem randomly. What in? I think they were all in slow cooker. I think we popped a couple, right? We definitely popped one in the raid, and I think we did. I think we already had the totems from going to the Woodland Mansion, and I think we popped one there as we were going. I think we also ate a golden apple in that raid to finally get through it all, or an enchanted golden apple. Um, we also popped a totem on an end city. We were just working on the shulkers and fell, and I was like, blah, 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 I'm going to throw my pearl, and I was slow to get to it, and I hit the ground, and boom, totem, gone. Like, what? So it can, out of the blue, it can hit you and get you, and this world is clicking along, so we don't want to be, I don't want to be too crazy. I don't want to forget, and I don't want you guys to think like, oh yeah, you're doing fine, you're all good. Don't worry about losing the world. Just go take crazy risks. A little bit for the entertainment value and all that, but I don't want to give up this world. I want to build a barn, and I've got longer term, like a year's worth of content plans for this base, and there's that list right there. That's tiny minimal stuff that I'd like to do in this world, that we need to do all the other stuff that I want to do in this world. I want to have I've long had a idea for the Dragon Island that I'd like to do, and I've never come close to respawning the dragon enough times to just get all the portals, much less do anything right there in the area. So I do have big long-term plans. Like I said, the turtle thing, that's so far out. We haven't done anything close to that. The guardian temples and stuff like that. I mean, this, while we laugh and joke about it, this is an HCMC 100 world, and I know not a lot of streamers or anybody are doing that anymore, but something I haven't fully completed all in one world, and I've never done the how do we get here advancement. So all of that is a priority. I'm just not speed running it. I'm playing a world the way I'd play it. So, uh, we don't want to just, hey, I think we should go do a guardian temple without the best underwater weapon in the world and see how it turns out. And maybe just to make it crazier, we won't bring any water breathing potions, stuff like that, right? It unless we get the all the advancements done, I don't want to throw away my world. So that's why I'm leaning to the raid, and that's why um, I think we'll try to do it entertaining, but also a little bit safe. And there's a line, right? I don't begrudge people that make every wither fight lock in the wither underneath uh, the end portal. I don't, but I don't get mad at you if you want to do that. That's just playing the game in my book. So I don't know. We'll see how we pan out here. So I think we'll just load up all our goodies here while we're at it. And then feed the bees. Get oh, this is gonna fill me up. I'm gonna need another box. That's a good problem to have. And we're getting close to nighttime, it looks like. Sleep there. Have a sip of tea. I'm drinking iced tea, and it's like the coldest I've been all summer. It's I don't know, maybe 60 degrees outside, but I felt so like this is gonna sound weird. I felt so dirty and violated this morning, but I don't mean that in that kind of way. As I've described to a lot of you guys that may have heard, in a ground floor apartment, and I, thanks to having like a big improvised curtain over my main windows and some bad screens in them, um, most of my windows in my apartment, which there's like two side windows in my front room, which I never open because the accessible one has a busted screen kind of, and it's not really busted. I mean, it's there. I could be a Karen and go complain to the people and be like, I need a new screen. This is unacceptable. Well, it's not that bad. And the other one is kind of back in the corner behind my TV, so it would be totally a disaster to try to get to it and then open it and close it and all that. I'd be knocking my TV off the wall, or not the wall, the little thingy table. It's not really an entertainment center. It's just got it's like a low little. It looks like a night bedside table kind of size, and it's just got a little shelf with my PlayStation on it and uh, some controllers that are charging. A couple jigsaw puzzles on the bottom. You guys like jigsaw puzzles? You know about that? I am. So I'm a little old-fashioned, but I grew up in the Midwest, man. We got long, cold winters, and when I was a little kid, even if you had awesome video game systems, they weren't that awesome. And like as a kid, you might play them, but um, I was I wasn't an old kid. I was probably in fairly early elementary school when like the first Atari came out, and I lived a very comfortable life. My parents gave us a lot of good opportunities, and you you could say luxuries in our lives, but it was more of the travel and experiences and that kind of stuff. We never had cable. My parents only got cable when they moved to a new house about 5 or 6 years ago, and a lot of you guys would think I'm old. They're elderly. They're in that stage of life where I worry about them with COVID and all that kind of stuff, and they are they they do awesome. They still amaze me. They're like, oh yeah, no, we got to do this, 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 and this today, and this, and then we're doing this. I'm like, okay, keep busy, but they just that's always been kind of their philosophy and mentality is you stay busy. You got this one life. Make the most of it. Don't just sit around letting time pass. Um, that's no way to find yourself at the end of your life going, oh man, I regret not having done this. Go do it. And I try to approach that even in Minecraft. It's a game, and it's a virtual. Oh, now I gotta wait for you guys to move to pick that back up. This is why we try to do this over on the brick so we don't waste all our flowers. But I think nope, I don't have all you guys. There, you guys go. Now I've done. Oh, can I get bees and? There we go. Bees and silos. Oh, why am I? Sorry. Now I don't have. All right, you guys come over here. I'm gonna do this. Come on. Where's the bee? Go up high, bees. There you go. Bee silo. I think you're too. I'd like to get like to get a view of the silo without like a partial bee everywhere. We'll see. I know, I'm being silly. All right. But this is kind of silly, fun, hanging out episode. So yeah, well, we're trying to make the most of our time. I'm trying to do that with you guys, for you guys, but also for myself. I want to have accomplishments and experiments even within the confines of the game. So that's what I'm gonna do, and did I get? I guess I should do some more seeds. Then we'll head over to the traders and say hi. It's been so long since we've been there. Yeah, I totally lost how I got to the part about childhood opportunities instead of like computers and all that kind of stuff, and not just sitting around. I don't know what we're doing, but what we didn't talk about that whole time was that the bees are doing awesome. They are so filling up all those hives. Those were just storage because we were at that point. We got such a long time to go before. Because remember, we can. Oh, I didn't know that these were open. So we're a little bit better off, but remember that as we do these, and we can keep some pure bone meal if we need it, but for storage, which is kind of what we're doing, Um, was that not it? Do I have to craft these as blocks? I know we've done this. Ooh, that does really limit the amount of blocks. But we can. There we go. We got all our bones put away. My long-term project of bone stuff maybe a lot longer. Oh, we were talking. Well, no, I don't know. I know I didn't finish though. That it has been one of the coolest. Oh, I was the Windows jigsaw puzzles. That was the bridge. We were talking about, my windows that I couldn't get to, and I had jigsaw puzzles on the deal. And I said, oh yeah, we were in the Midwest. That was something we did as a kind of a family while TV was on and all that when we were growing up. Uh, I still love them to this day. It was fun. When I was in the Midwest, one like afternoon, I think my niece and nephew had some activity going on or something, but it was basically my sister was working on something, and my mom and dad and I were kind of hanging out, and it's just like, hey, let's give this puzzle a try. It took a few hours, but we had it knocked out basically by the time we were ready to have dinner. Just sitting around, boom, 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 and you kind of you love your family and your parents and all that, but as you guys will find out down the road, if you're so blessed to have parents that haven't met any untimely end or anything like that, we all hope we have a long, productive, and healthy life, and that's something we all have. But as you get older, you can't manage as much as you had at one time in the past, and they're aware that they're looking out and modifying their activities and all that, but you still you kind of wonder at, hey, how are they doing? It's not something I any of us, I think, struggle to be like, I'm not good at that, whether it's because of injury or skill or whatever. And I'm trying to relate that, but when you're young, you're constantly getting better. As you get a little older, though, that isn't always the case. You begin to deteriorate when it comes to some skills and all that kind of stuff. What? Oh, that was the goof, right? We should clean that up while we're here. Because this is our portal. It's, like I said, it's been a while. All right. What do we have here? We got our cats. Let's get the wheat. Man, there are trains going crazy. I have trains relatively close to me, but they're not that close. You don't hear them. But there are like literally train horns that have been going for like 5 minutes. I don't know if trains are passing each other. It's just weird. Anyway, so like I said, I woke up this morning feeling violated, and it was because my apartment, only my bedroom has a window that I use as like an opening, closing kind of window deal. Otherwise, I have two big doors out onto my deck from two different rooms, and that's where I get most of my airflow. And I have these little like curtainy like screens that hang over the door frames, and they work really well. But they're not like a screen door, right? They're not like framed in with metal and all that. They're basically like curtains, and they have some little magnets to kind of hold them in place. But if a critter is determined, they can just go in around the bottom of the curtain. Well, I left my window open, but before I'd gone to bed, I'd had had both my doors open, and I woke up this morning. I was like, "Oh, it's nice and cool in here. I'm so happy." And then I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I shut that door." And I got up, and sure enough, I hadn't. Right? I was standing there like, "Oh no, what?" And I've told you before. Once upon a time, I had a mouse in here, and it just I don't mind mice or animals of any kind, really. But it gives me the willies to think of them in my place. Your food and all that you've got potentially exposed to an animal getting into it just makes everything feel kind of gross and nasty. You don't want any part of that. So I woke up like, oh man, is there anything still in here? You're like, I'm wandering around in shorts and a t-shirt. Like, do I have like a mouse or a squirrel or I don't know, a raccoon or something like that that's already in, and I just don't know it yet, and I'm gonna make it, angry or threatened, where it then tries to rip its way out of uh, the place and can't find the exit and starts, tearing stuff up. Any of that, like, it's not a comfortable feeling. Let's put it that way. But fortunately, it did not seem as though there had been any badness. At least not that I've heard or seen any sign of so far, which is very reassuring. Um, Now, do we worry that he's out and walking around? Is that something that I did inadvertently, or is he just has he always been out? Maybe he's always been out. I don't know. If we ever need to, we'll figure it out. It doesn't seem like we have a big old jailbreak on our hands here. Well, you guys are on sale. That's nice. And you seem to have a ton of inventory space, which is awesome. Still not on sale there. I think if he wants to go on sale, he's got to gossip. Yeah, fortunately, I don't think any of our tools needed much in the way of repairing. Let's go get all the rest of our stuff here, which I believe is now all melons and nothing there, nothing extra there. Oh, carrots. So we check. And then try to go pumpkins first where we can. So yeah, I woke up just, kind of like, and you get up and you're like, oh man, I forgot to shut that door. It's been open all night. And the whole idea of like people coming in doesn't freak me out at all. I maybe it's foolish, but I trust my neighbors and all. I don't think anybody would come in. They all, I try to say hi to everybody, just as a matter of being a decent human being anyway. But beyond all that, I think it's part of being a good neighbor to be engaged enough to kind of like say hi and hey, how you doing, where you live, all that kind of stuff. Any issues, you guys, some people tend to get all aggressive, I would say, especially, if they've ever had anything happen like a car break in or, somebody uh, has a fender bender in the parking lot, doesn't leave a note, something like that. A lot of people, um, I guess, you have full, fully within your rights the ability to be upset if you're the victim of something like that. But at the same time, it's like, are you going to really shape your outlook, or let those types of activities that are like the worst shape your outlook on all the people that live around you? So, long story short, I don't stop. Oh my gosh, I don't try to have that bad view of my neighbors. And again, I think it's a different story. Me being an adult man and well versed enough in the ways of the world, I don't think I'm a particularly at risk threat. Although I guess if someone did get it in their head that like, oh look, there's an open door, I'm going in that apartment, there wouldn't be much I could do about it if I'm in the middle of a deep sleep. It's a bad idea. Don't do that. But it happened, and fortunately, there was no bad end to the story or anything like that. And as far as I know, I didn't even have a critter come in. But it's the critters coming in that I worry about far more than anything else. Like, are they behind the cupboards in the kitchen, getting into the food and all that? Just gross. But needless to say, my temperature is awesome today. Very, very pleasant. It was. We had a couple thunderstorms roll through. We haven't had like on Saturday night. It's Tuesday today, I think. On Saturday, we had just a few little sprinkles, little hints of storms, and they felt wonderful. Helped cool everything off. It was nice. Are we gonna be able to get rid of these? I guess not yet, unless haha, you're the man. I think we did pretty well there. Um, yeah, so it's finally cooling off, and I think as we go further in this week, it's just going to get, it's going to kind of bounce around. But like, now the highs they're talking about are in the maybe up to 90 as opposed to pushing 100, which is what it was last week. So huge difference there. It's wonderful out. Okay, we still have a toolbox in the middle of the fields where I abandoned it accidentally. But we're going to fix this, the little oops. And while I break this obsidian, I'm going to drink some tea. And that takes us full circle back to, it was the iced tea that was like, hey, I'm drinking iced tea on what is the coldest day I felt all summer. It's funny how thoughts and conversations circle like that. Maybe leave that, but that looks a little cleaner. Zip, 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 zip. This is not the convenient way. We have a portal. I could have just gone through it, but this is kind of chill. We're just hanging out, enjoying. What's up, llama? It's a wild, natural llama. One thing I did decide, again, I talked a little bit. I don't know what it takes yet. I know you can't tame goats in Minecraft. We have the mountain goats now. Um, I don't know what it takes to keep them contained. I think they can jump pretty dramatically, but I'd like to make a goat pen here on my farm because I definitely saw a couple different farms when I was on my trip a few weeks ago that were raising goats. Now, I don't know whether these goats were dedicated like hot yoga goats or whatever they are. I think I combined two completely unrelated things, but you guys may have guessed I'm not a big yoga guy. Uh, I'll leave that to him. But we have a music venue here in Colorado, outside Denver, called Red Rocks Amphitheater, and it is amazing. If you ever get an opportunity, I can't recommend strongly enough that you come check out a show. Whatever kind of music you like, whoever your favorite artists are, they will be. Uh, they will sound even better just from the atmosphere alone. Not to mention the natural acoustics and everything else. It is absolutely incredible. But anyway, it's this big natural outdoor amphitheater that they obviously have improved, right? It's not just like a grassy hillside, but back, I call it 100 years ago. I don't know how long ago. It was probably a little less than that. Um, some engineer from the Denver area was like out, and he's like, this is the same natural acoustic angling that the Greeks had for their outdoor theaters. That's where we get amphitheater from. Um, so he had decided, like, and this is all in like a little museum they have at the deal. He decided, like, this shouldn't be wasted, and we can't screw this up. I'm gonna go and make this setup for concerts and theater type, performances, oratory, whatever they did 100 years ago. He was like, this space is too beautiful and too naturally perfect. But it was like it's called Red Rocks. It's got these rock formations on either side of it that raise up far into the air, and it's just incredible. And up through the middle of it, it had some boulders and stuff like that. Obviously it wasn't just perfectly sitting there, but the grade and everything was right. And he knew if if somebody got it privately or whatever, they'd put a house smack in the middle of it, and it would be all over, and nothing good for people to enjoy. So because it was technically in Denver lands or whatever, he basically just he went out with like some dynamite and started blasting the rocks that couldn't be there, and basically just started building, improving this amphitheater without any official deal, because he thought, if I don't do this, they'll say no, and somebody else will come up with some other idea on how to use the land, and I don't want that to happen. So I'll just start the project. And I think it was Denver land. I think it had been bought, or whatever. It was determined, but they were trying to figure out how to use it. And so it wasn't like he went and he wasn't in Oklahoma sooner, right? It wasn't a land grab. He didn't just go snag it from other people or anything like that. But I think it was still under consideration what they were gonna do, and he kind of forced that. It was that typical easier to ask for forgiveness than permission deal. He was just like, oh, did you not want an awesome outdoor natural amphitheater here? Well, I didn't get that memo, so I just kind of did it. But it's incredible, absolutely amazing. Check it out if you're ever here. Even if you don't know what's going on, they've always got like these, like summertime, they'll put movies on the rocks and that kind of stuff. And there's not as much in the winter, obviously. No artist wants to risk, their ticket sales, their revenue, their livelihood on the chance you may have a blizzard and nobody can go. So, yeah. All right, how are we doing? 54 minutes. Awesome. We're almost done. And now I clicked on it, got a little warning. But it's not the power regulator, whatever that was on my laptop the other day. It seems to be fine now. No further mention of it. Thank you, Microsoft, for your concern. So we've done some farming. I'm sure some of you guys are absolutely delighted about that. About 5 minutes left, but I think we'll kind of wrap it up and stay on top of things. I just want to run up and down here and see. Like before, we didn't have anything in this little section. Now we've only got 3 left unhoneyed. 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, we got some work to do, but get it. Should we try to get these guys down at this end here one more time? Definitely need more bees down here. Come here. Hey, you bee. Come here. Go get a friend. If you bring a friend back, then you get a flower. See, once you get the screenshot, then it's tougher. All right, you guys go on about your business. You're the same bees. There we go. Yeah, so hopefully some of these will spread out. And just because some of these don't have honey actively coming out doesn't mean that there's not bees in them. They just may have fewer, so it takes longer for the honey to go. But I don't know. We've done a lot of good for the bees. Let's leave them to their thing. It's a few more. I'll try to keep picking away at that. Just adding more bees to the area, hoping that they make those last remaining hive spots their homes. And then that'll be good. So, what have we learned? Well, I think we want to go raiding. I think that's the decision we've kind of come to. So we'll we're going to need more pumpkins, right? We'll gather up the iron and the pumpkins and all that kind of stuff, and then maybe go for a little bit of an exploration, try to find a spot that will work for us, where we can be in a pillager, go to a pillager tower, fight some of them, but make sure we get a bad omen, and then roll back to take down that raid. So that's the plan. And we'll get that in our upcoming episodes. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Tell you what, if you just happened to stop by and caught me searching on hardcore Minecraft videos, or somebody gave me a recommendation, would you consider hitting that like button and subscribing so you can find out about more. More importantly, I always love to hear from you guys in the comments. Let me know how you like to play Minecraft. Is it hardcore? Is it creative? Do you play the survival or mini games? Or what's your style? All about servers. We all do different stuff. Also, let me know what you think about the little projects list. Did I forget something that we've talked about repeatedly in this world that I've said, oh, we need to do that, or whatever? I know there's lots of stuff out there. I mean, we haven't even gotten to like the mesa and getting all kinds of awesome terracotta stuff and doing anything with that. But I don't think that's going to factor into our base barn farmyard kind of stuff. So we'll see. But for now, I want to thank you guys so much for dropping by. Stay your awesome, wonderful selves. I'm going to get out and enjoy some of this beautiful day. Hope you guys do the same. Remember, take breaks when you're playing video games or watching them. Get up, move your limbs around, keep active, and your body will thank you. So will your brain. Till next time, bye now.